Playing bunker shots might be confusing for a lot of you, and there are so many kind of different ways that you can do it. There's ways to refine it, get better distance control. But what I want to give you today is basic, but it doesn't mean that it's not going to help you dramatically, because too many of you are making it harder than it needs to be. First thing, what I'm not doing is aiming way left of my target. And this is the mistake that people make, thinking, well, I open up the club face, so I point the club face at my target and now I swing left of it, okay? That's sort of very old way of thinking, because what that does, it can work, but what it does more often than not, it creates a glancing blow across the club face. So really what happens is the ball kind of ends up glancing across and hitting the toe. It's unpredictable, it's unreliable. We want consistency, we want simplicity. So what we do, we open up the club face, but we are staying pretty much square to our target. And we are going to swing along our target or parallel to our target with that open club face. I don't have my hands pressed forward. I have the shaft pretty vertical. I open up the club face. I am aware that I'm not pushing my hands too far forward. I want them pretty much neutral. So the club shaft is pretty much vertical. And yes, I'm touching the sand here a little bit, but it's just to help me explain everything. But from here, what I'm going to do is commit to that line. And that's what we're going to get into next. So if I swing along that line there, it's going to go where I want. But what we're going to apply next is pure gold. And most people have never thought about it. Most people don't think about this. We take divots with all of our irons, and with bunker shots, especially ones around the green, we want to take, in theory, a divot. But for some reason, we don't think of it that way. We think of the bunker shot being totally separate to the rest of our short game or full swing. It's not that much different, and we don't want it to be that much different, because continuity creates consistency. So, a nice little practice thought, drill, whatever you can do, after you've got a better setup, after you've opened up that club face, is to basically just imagine a divot, a rectangle, a big dollar bill, whatever you want to call it. But what I'm trying to do is displace this sand out of the bunker. What I've got here is a bit big for what we want the divot to be, but I'm just trying to accentuate it so you can visualize it. And that's what you need to do. When you're playing these sand shots around the greens, we want to be taking a good amount of sand, okay? But the concept of taking a divot, even though we might not be getting the ball first and then divot like we do with, or what we want with good iron shots, just still the idea of taking a divot of sand and throwing it onto the green. That concept has helped so many people. And I really do think that if you give it a try, after we've got our setup a bit more sort of neutral to our target line, we're opening up that club face, I'm forgetting about the ball. All I want to do is hit the sand. That almost went in, I think. But I displaced the divot of sand. That was my only objective. That was it. I opened up the club face. I used the bounce on my sand wedge, and I took a divot of sand, and the ball went where I wanted. Simplicity at its finest. So start taking divots, open up that club face, and you will be playing more consistent bunker shots around the greens. Now, if there's different sand, more packed sand, you can reduce how much you open up. If it's a bit more packed and this time of year it gets a bit wet, just don't take as much of a divot. But the concept is the same, okay? Take a divot, get it close more often. I'll see you next time. Now, if you want to get really good divots with your irons and pure, consistent iron shots, check out this lesson, because it's going to help you get that ball first, then the divot. That's the secret. See you next time.